Each month, the film world turns upside down. Now, let's pour out a glass and talk about it. This is Martini Shot! In today's news, young ones are saving Hollywood. Conflicts of interest oust this new film. A tragic accident at Annecy Film Festival. And old memories are making new money. Now, here are your hosts, Braydan Kirkland and Cole James.
Boom!
Breaking news.
Breaking glass news. Welcome back, everybody, to Martini Shot. Oh, my hair is going crazy. Welcome. It's still going crazy?
Yep.
Okay. Welcome back to Martini Shot, everyone. Braydan Kirkland here with my lovely co-host, compatriot, Cole James, who's looking very snazzy today. I like the get up. We're looking very professional.
Yeah.
This is our episode for the month of June 2026. And just like always, some crazy things happen in the world of film this month and over the past year. Let's take it back a little bit with our very first story of the episode. Cole, I want to talk to you about some movie-going statistics. And there's one group of people that are really helping to keep the movie theaters alive in a time where we're a bit worried about the health of the box office. And I'm talking, of course, about Generation Z. Gen Z, that's you and me. And others. Let's go over some numbers off the top. Movie-going stats. 87% of those born between 1997 and 2013, that is Gen Z folks, have seen a film in theaters at least once since 2025. Compare that to baby boomers. 58% of them went out to the theaters to see a film. That is a drastic level difference between those two demographics. Baby boomers used to go to the movies a lot more frequently. And especially since the pandemic, that's changed. Gen Z also was 40% of every ticket sale in North America last year. That's almost half of everyone that went to the theaters last year was a young person. Gen Z. Also, each individual Gen Z folk went an average of 6.1 times to the theaters over the past year. What the industry calls those power users, people who go to the theaters frequently. So that's about once every 2 months a Gen Z person went to the movie theaters to see a film. The Gen Z people were also the least affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, which kind of saw a huge tank to other demographics in their movie-going habits. And also, very interestingly, Gen Z is the most likely demographic to spend extra money on IMAX, Dolby, and other premium large format screenings. So they are more likely to spend the bigger bucks for the bigger movie experiences. Just off of that, before we go any further into this story or these, I guess, opinions and developments, Cole, what do you make of all those numbers? Gen Z is the biggest movie-going demographic that we've seen in a while, in a time where we're actually a bit concerned about the longevity of the movie theater. Whereas I'll pull a quote from a couple months ago, if not last year, Leonardo DiCaprio saying he foresees movie theaters becoming something like jazz bars, as in a bit antiquated as a communal event, a frequency, but something a bit more nostalgic that people go to reminisce on times before. That's what he sees for movie theaters. Gen Z is proving him a little bit wrong, but we're still in a bit of a uphill climb. How do you see this kind of going forward? What do you make of these numbers? Yeah, corresponding. We're going.
That's right, Braydan. We see these numbers changing drastically each year, and the baby boomers, they probably were the most part of the movie theater culture, although just decades ago. All the decades.
They were.
All the past.
They were. Definitely.
But, now that they can barely walk, because, a lot of them are up there, They don't feel like going outside.
That's true. And they yell if they're outside. They're not happy about being outside if they have to be.
Yep. I can't really explain why the other generation. I guess movies aren't made for the other generations. As a matter of fact, right now, Hollywood is technically going to stop. They're going to stop thinking about us here soon, because the target audience that makes the most money, teenage boys.
Oh, sure.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Definitely.
Because they want to see...
They want to see...
Sexy girls and explosions.
Yeah,
it's not hard to really put in a movie. Michael Bay is great at it.
He figured out the formula.
Yeah.
Throw in some big boat-on honkaroos. Mm-hmm. Throw in some big-ass explosions.
Yep.
And you've got yourself $500 million at a box office. And now that there's a void kind of left with the MCU and Star Wars, which kind of had a stranglehold on that demographic, it's a chance for other filmmakers or other IP properties to come in and swoop in. Like, I think that was the attempt that the recent Masters of the Universe film made, was to kind of fill that void. Mm-hmm. And they had some of that, like, irreverent humor, you know. I saw that movie, and I'm a little ashamed to admit that the fisto jokes that I fist people actually kind of made me chuckle a little bit. They threw that in. He's like, why do you call me fisto? And then Prince Adam is like, because you fist people. Yeah. They said that like 4 times. They said that 4 times. And then like in the last, the third act battle, he's like, Fisto's talking to Ram Man, and Fisto's like, I fist people? Ram Man, you give him head! Without any sense of irony or sarcasm.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So they were clearly attempting to go after that demographic. And actually, while you talk a little bit more about it, I'm going to look up the box office numbers of Masters of the Universe, which I don't believe were great. I believe it was a bit of a disappointment. So there's still that void for teenage boys. Let me look that up.
Another, and this is a more recent thing. Of course, with Hollywood, recent means the past 5 to 10 years, because they're a little slow. But they're kind of learning of another market that they are, I think, slowly starting to tap into, which is the teenage girl kind of market of, and I say these markets, this isn't meant to generalize, but it's just sure. There are markets. A lot of people like these things, and they tend to be this target audience. But like I want to say it was a coming of age like romance for the teenage girls, and that made a lot of money for Hollywood.
Yeah, sure.
And those are starting to come out a little bit more. Actually,
yeah. I've noticed a lot more rom-coms from that like era of the early 2000s, kind of making a resurgence. I think a movie. Correct me if the title is wrong, Billy, but Voicemails from Isabel or Isabella, which is a new Netflix film, which is doing gangbusters right now, which is kind of filling that coming out as that style of rom-coms from the 2000s. So there's an element of nostalgia in some of the properties that are getting popular again. I did look it up. Masters of the Universe made about $104 million against a nearly $200 million budget. So underperforming, did not make its budget back, but there is still a sequel still a sequel in production. So there's the studio, which is I'm gonna get it. MGM.
Oh, it's MGM.
MGM. Okay. They are still going in on Master of the Universe, even though it kind of stumbled. So but I would still say there's still a void left. So you're right. I do agree that Gen Z won't be the golden boys and girls and they thems for very long. But for right now, I do foresee film studios catering to that demographic, at least for the next few years. And I think because I have some research here. provided to me by the Guardian. Thank you, Guardian. Of why Gen Z likes the movie theaters, why they're going so often. I have 4 reasons. Number 1, the immersive experience that you get at the movie theaters helps you get apart from your phone screens, which I think, I don't know about you, but the people that are in my circle have been saying they want to get off their phones and try to limit their screen time from being so high of like using it like 8 hours a day. They want to get it down. And I've definitely also said that I want to limit my phone time. I've actually like deleted like social media stuff, so I'm not on it, so I don't have that temptation. Yeah, a lot of people are trying to get off their screens, and going to the movie theaters for 2 hours where you're in a dark room and it's like a pariah to get on your phones is a good way to kind of, curb that habit. Number 2, the ability to block out 2 hours is so rare. This is a direct quote from a 22-year-old as published by The Guardian. I think it's just, there's so little time in the day, and just to have those moments for yourself where you're enjoying just sitting in the quiet and enjoying a movie is a very increasingly rare thing these days. There's that number 3, the communal experience that you get in a movie theater. We call them water cooler, like cultural moments. I think since the internet has increasingly brought us all together, there's also like a distancing within people in your immediate life, in your immediate social circle. You feel a bit more distant to them, but you're connected to everyone like around the world. So going to a movie theater, going to see a movie with your friends, with other people in your community, kind of brings you back to those experiences that we've slowly lost over time. And number 4, it's social media, dudes. It's social media, babes. It's social media. Of course it is. TikToks featuring clips from movies. TikToks featuring people's letterboxed reviews. Letterboxd itself. Instagrams about upcoming movies. All of this. You edit a little montage of clips of your reviews of anything. Throw a little trendy song on top of it. Bam! You're doing gangbusters online. You're getting millions and millions of views and likes and stuff. And it's gonna make people think that being into movies gives you an identity. It gives you a sophistication, and people want that. People want that online. That's what they're searching for. They're gonna go to the movie theaters. This isn't just like even hearsay. This is backed research. Well, these are what people are saying in this demographic. And
to, I think, further kind of back that point up, people trust professional critics less and less every day.
Yeah.
And that's not even just movies, like video games and other reviewers and other mediums of consumption. There's always
how many parodies? Yeah. How many parodies of IGN have you seen where they're just like bashing their review process? Mm-hmm. Plenty.
But it always feels like they're either reviewing something and they don't understand it, or they're reviewing something and they're politically motivated, or they're reviewing something and there's a lack of honesty. Journalism has devolved to a level, and I would consider reviews but part of journalism because you're reporting on
definitely
something in the world, but it's devolved into a state that is unrecognizable from even like 10, 15 years ago. Because even 10, 15 years ago, there were rules to journalism that was like, you have to keep it unbiased. You have to report the facts. I know, critics and reviews, that has to have some opinion to it, but at the end of the day, it's kind of, they were honest about it. They were like, if you like this, and this, then maybe you would like this, but it just wasn't for me. And they would be able to discern the difference. And now they just don't even try.
Yeah. I think we're seeing film review, like online film review, artistic review, as the last bastion of unbiased journalism, and we're watching it slowly crumble away. Mm-hmm. And that's a scary thought. That's a terrifying thought.
But your point,
yes,
that's why people are watching these reviews on social media, because we trust each other as viewers more so than professional critics.
for sure.
Because we're not motivated to, you know.
Take this show, for example. In our first episode, we used like Rotten Tomato scores, like Metacritic scores, to judge how people think of movies. Starting in the previous episode, we're using Letterboxd scores now for that, because I just trust the public's opinion more than some critics that who knows what they're saying these things for, by who's paying them. You know what I mean? Before we move on to the last thing, I want to shine a quick light on how I think. Let's turn this into a learning situation. Mm-hmm. All of you young filmmakers out there, how can you take advantage of this? We're realizing that Gen Z is the highest growing demographic right now, and I do agree with you, Cole. It's not going to last that long, because we're going to start catering to the even youngers, and who knows what their tendencies are. We don't know them yet.
It's already happening, probably.
It's probably already happening, but for the time being, while I do agree that the exact shift of who we're making these movies for will change, I do think that the shift of who's making the movies will continue the way it is, and that is young filmmakers, specifically from social media, from YouTube, from Reddit, from any other kind of online social media sharing platform. Let's take the two of the biggest box office surprises from 2026, Obsession and Backrooms. Those were both directed by young filmmakers under the age of 26. I believe Curry Barker is 26. Kane Parsons is younger than me and you and I. He's like 20 years old. They started off on YouTube, got deals with these production companies, made their movies for Obsession. Budget was $10 million. No, Backrooms budget was $10 million. Obsession was $1 million. And they're making huge amounts of money at the box office because people, A, know who these filmmakers are from their previous YouTube experience, and B, the popularity of horror as a genre, I think, is the second most listed favorite genre among Gen Z, a close second to comedy. Mm-hmm. So original IPs are carving out an oversaturated market full of franchises, which we will continue to see. We're not going to see the end of that anytime soon. Take Masters of the Universe, for example. Even though it lost money, they're still making a sequel. Mm-hmm. But I think Gen Z is craving, they're starving, they're desiring original stories, specifically with some sort of big event feel. They're going to IMAX. They're going to premium large format. They're going to Dolby theaters. They want that big sensory theatrical experience that we got with Endgame, that we kind of had with Barbenheimer, that we may be getting with The Odyssey. They want that. So, young filmmakers out there, don't be afraid to put yourself out there online. You may get discovered. You may not. But at any rate, it's a good way to hone in your craft. Yeah. It's a good way to hone in your craft. And craft movies, not just for the audience, but craft original stories that mean something to you and make it feel big that other people maybe want to get in on it too. And I hate that we have to cater the job to social media now. I mean, I wish we didn't have to. You don't go to film school to learn how to post a viral TikTok as a marketing strategy, but that's just the world we're living in. And I guarantee you, if you reach out to the right subset of people, you will have a fan base. There will be people who will be rooting you on, and at the very least, we're rooting you on. So those are some things to take away. Cole, do you have any final notes on Gen Z taking over Hollywood?
I did.
I didn't mean to stump you. I didn't mean to throw that question out of nowhere.
Yeah.
We are professionals. Don't worry. We are on top of our game.
Oh.
There it is.
You kind of moved on from that, though.
That's okay. We can backtrack a little bit.
Okay,
it's important.
so back to like the budget, not the budget, the target audience demographics. Another one of like the big ones is the scary genre. They're cheap movies to make, and they always seem to make a lot of money. No matter how terrible they are, if it's terrible, people go to laugh at it. If it's good, people go to get scared. It's just, it's one it's hard to fail in that genre.
Yeah, I think specifically the strong word of mouth associated with horror is really what's propelling these movies along, because horror has such a dedicated fan base. You know, if you meet someone and they say their favorite movie is horror, or if their favorite movie genre is horror, you know it just by like looking at them, by talking to them for a little bit. If you like meet someone whose like favorite genre is adventure, it may take you a little digging to get to that. But horror people, like, they put their heart on their sleeves, and they're going to be more likely than any other genre fans to tell all their friends, "Hey, this movie is great. Go see it." Mm-hmm. Like, I remember, I'm trying to think of an earlier example, but a movie that I really liked, like Project Hail Mary. I enjoyed that movie, and I had a couple of people saying like, "Hey, did you see this movie? Go check it out if you haven't." Or, "Yeah, we had a good time. Let's talk about it a little bit." But I'm telling you, like, almost every young person in my contacts was blowing up my phone to talk about Obsession and Backrooms. Because it's just so, like, we have to talk about it. We have to share. Go see it if you haven't. And so, not to force you all out there to get into horror, but it is a happening spot right now for young filmmakers. And if you got the talents to make horror, give it a shot. You know, what could go wrong?
I always say, if you haven't truly experienced a genre at least once, give it a shot, because you may find that you actually like it. I used to be kind of scared of horror, but I think I've since kind of moved past it. And I haven't seen a movie in the theater in a little bit, but I would be willing to like go. Like watch something to that effect. I need to go to the theater again. The last time I was in the theater, I saw Attack of the Clones, which was probably mentioned in the last news episode.
Yeah,
but I've just been busy.
Geez, I gotta take you to the movies a bit more often, man.
Yeah.
We'll move on to our next story as I contemplate your failures as a movie going individual. Listen, folks at home, I get it. This is the third episode of the Martini Shot. I mean, you've been watching the show pretty frequently, hopefully, on the writer's room. A little shameless plug really quick. We've talked about AI in both of those episodes before. It's a touchy subject. You know, people have strong opinions either way. I have strong opinions. I think Cole's opinions are also strong, I would categorize. We don't like talking about it. If you think we enjoy talking about AI, you are dead wrong, because I fucking hate it every time. So, you know what? We're going to move on. Main story for this episode. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's about AI. We have to do it. We have to. There's a big story regarding AI, and we have to talk about it.
Fuck!
Just recently.
God damn it!
I know. I'm sorry. I mean, if you want to cut this entire segment, be my guest. But this is the big breaking story.
No, if we have to slog through it, they do too.
We have to slog. Yeah, sorry, folks. I mean, Billy, put in a timestamp to skip this segment if people really don't want to listen.
No, don't you do it, Billy. They have to sit through it too. If we have to do this, they have to sit through it too. Don't you tell them.
Yeah, don't. Right. Yeah. Okay, folks, lock in. All right, we're locking in.
Mm-hmm.
Luca Guadagnino, very talented filmmaker. He's made some pretty big hits. Call Me by Your Name, Challengers, which I just adored. Great movie, probably my favorite sports movie ever made. Which is not saying much because there's not a lot of great sports movies out there. Most recently, Queer, starring Daniel Craig. Actually, After the Hunt. Sorry, was even more recent. He's a guy in the now, and he's a highly desired filmmaker. He was recently tapped to direct a comedy drama biopic entitled Artificial, starring Andrew Garfield as OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. This movie was under production at Amazon MGM, and just recently, a few weeks ago, Amazon dropped the film. It was nearing completion. It was in post-production. They had already screened test screenings. And from all reports that I've read, Amazon MGM had seen every iteration of the script, even before Guadagnino was contacted to direct the film. It is written by SNL alum Simon Rich, if you care about any of that. They had seen all the test screenings, and they seem to have reacted positively to what they were seeing out of the movie. Amazon, so why drop the movie? Seems like you liked it. See, you got some big names involved. You got Andrew Garfield playing the protagonist. You have Monica Barraro playing a pretty big lead. She was exceptional in a Complete Unknown and some other recent projects. Ike Barinholtz of the studio fame, and I saw him in the Mindy Project, which is an underrated sitcom. He's playing Elon Musk. You know, these aren't just scrubs. Let's be fair. These are big names. These are like top of the heavyweight class. So why would Amazon drop it? Well, putting on my investigative journalism hat, which is actually not very hard investigative journalism because they reported it everywhere. Amazon recently signed a $50 billion deal with, drumroll please, OpenAI. I'm not going to wait for you to drumroll. It's OpenAI. And even deeper than that, Jeff Bezos and Sam Altman have a close friendship. Sam Altman was invited to Bezos' wedding. Oh, how sweet. How adorable. They're bros. BFFs. So a bit of a conflict of interest, don't you think? That this movie that was described as having a critical bent towards Sam Altman and OpenAI, and Amazon's not going to want to really distribute that because of their deal and because of Bezos' relationship with Sam Altman. So, the film is now open for business. They are shopping it out to other distributors. They recently screened the movie to, and I'm going to give you the whole list, A24, Focus Features, which is owned by Universal, Netflix, Warner Brothers independent branch Clockwork, so Warner Brothers, and Neon, another independent film company. They were all potential buyers. Every single one passed, except for Neon. And a company that wasn't initially involved in those test screenings, but has been attached to buying the movie is streaming platform Mubi, which seems to be the most likely buyer if this movie is going to be bought, because Guadagnino's film Queer was distributed and bought by Mubi. So, I mean, if anything, spoiler alert, it seems like that's where this story is going in the future, but we have not confirmed that yet as of the recording of this episode on June 27th. So why did these other companies pass? Put my investigative journalism hat back on. Let's talk about it. Just recently, Cole, did you hear any news about A24 in the past few days?
No, but something tells me it's because they all want to get into AI movie making, and Neon's one of the few. I'm surprised A24 actually is possibly doing or went against that movie, but yeah, Neon, I'm not surprised that they wanted to buy it. I mean, it was going to be an independent studio, but yeah, it all these studios are wanting to do AI because it's cheaper than hiring actual people, and it means, computer part prices are going to continue rising because everybody thinks AI
that's the real travesty of the situation. Is computer prices going up,
God,
which actually is kind of
corporations a bit of just make me so mad, and I'm just like, dude, stop driving these prices up because now we can't even get a decent computer. My God, Xbox I heard they raised their prices to like by $100 and $150 or something like that.
That's
and
insane,
it was already like
it was already
$650. Like for a home console, these things used to be less than $500. We're nearing $1,000 on home video game consoles. So I'm just kind of like, why, dude? I don't understand.
Well, everyone, all of you performative hipster males, I want you to brace yourselves for what you're about to hear. All of my film talk girlies, I want you to brace yourself for what you're about to hear. All of my physical media motherfuckers, I want you to brace yourself for what you're about to hear. Everybody who is against the mainstream film studios, I want you to brace yourself for what you're about to hear. A24 has signed an exclusive deal with Google's DeepMind AI. Yes, I know. Listen. Ask any of my friends. Ask Cole even. Who was the biggest A24 fan out there? Me. Ask anybody. Actually, I see my... Hold on. Entertain them, Cole, for a second.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I thought I had more time to be a human artist, you know? I thought I had more time.
I was the biggest A24 fan.
Yeah.
They have signed a deal with Google's AI department, AI branch. And what do you think happened? Who is the main fans? Who's the main demographic that is going for A24? It's people like me who appreciate independent cinema, who appreciates original storytelling, who appreciates film made by human hands with genuine creativity. And what does A24 do with that pre-built fan base? They fucking shove it up everyone's ass with a spiky dildo laced with poison. Who does that? Okay.
It doesn't matter. You know how much money Google probably paid them to do that?
A lot, probably.
So it doesn't matter. You don't matter, dude.
I know I don't. Well, that's kind of hard to hear, but I don't matter. And people out there, y'all don't matter to them. Y'all don't matter to you buy all your A24 tickets and merch and stuff with all your money. They don't fucking care about you. They never did.
Doesn't matter, dude. It just
but
doesn't.
to be fair, immediate backlash from everyone in A24's fan base. They recently released a trailer for Jesse Eisenberg's comedy film, The Debut, starring Julianne Moore and Paul Giamatti. And so many of the comments on those trailers were all about just demonizing A24 for signing this deal. What does A24 say in response to all that backlash? They say, and I quote, "This was purely a research partnership. We want a seat at the table, not to be on the sidelines, to dictate how AI tools are being used in the production of film." You know what I say to that? Bull fucking shit. Absolutely not. Oh my. No, I don't believe you. And I never did. It's betraying their built-in fan base. Purely for financial gain. This is the story of late-stage capitalism in the American democratic infrastructure. Yeah. A24, to be fair, not everyone, I guess, in the A24 umbrella is pleased with this. Recently, Scott Beck and Brian Woods, who I believe I've got their names right, the directors of A24's horror film Heretic, starring Hugh Grant, began their film with a disclaimer that no AI was used in the production of this film. Scott Beck has been on record of saying AI is a travesty, you know. It could be big danger. Just recently, their biggest wonderkind, Kane Parsons, director of Backrooms, has said, quote, "AI is a symptom of broader cultural and economic rot." Yeah, that light knows the story. AI is a symptom of broader cultural and economic rot. So not everyone in the fan base is happy, including me. So A24. you've just lost a fan. Until you remedy this situation. Fuck you. I wish I had something to really destroy this hat with, but just... Fuck you. Anyways, but that's not the only studio that passed on this film. Remember who the others I said? Netflix. Did you know that Netflix has established a generative AI studio for animation? And they said it was, quote, a significant opportunity. So that's two. That is two studios that have handshake deals with significant money on the line with AI companies, actually three, including Amazon, that have passed on Guadagnino's AI criticism film. Let's also talk about Warner Brothers. Who doesn't love Warner Brothers? I don't know if you know this, everyone at home, but Warner Brothers and AWS, which is Amazon's internal AI system, they're going to be using agentic AI for advertising purposes. There was also a report like a couple years ago that Warner Brothers was going to use AI to greenlight films if they were like financially viable or not. I don't know if that's still in place or if that was just a rumor. The research on that's pretty slim that I could find. So I don't know if they're still into that or whatever, but it was something that was going to happen nonetheless. The only film production company that passed on the film that doesn't really have a connection to AI is actually Focus Features, which is owned by Universal. Oddly enough, Focus Features released the AI doc last year, which was a documentary about how a filmmaker was grappling with the oppression of AI. And Universal has actually been one of the more ruthless companies in suing Midjourney and other AI production or AI generative companies for copyright infringement. Disney joined that bus later on, but if you remember last year, Disney was going to sign a deal with Sora AI, which is owned by Sam Altman's OpenAI, with a multi-billion-dollar deal, and they backed out of it after severe backlash. And I remind you, Mubi and Neon still have not passed on this film, and as far as we know, do not have any close ties with AI companies. So it seems like either Neon or Mubi could save this film that I do believe deserves to be seen. Mm-hmm. Let's get that out. Mm-hmm. And I think it's pretty clear my frustrations about some of these other companies dealing with the devil. Cole, talk before I fucking destroy everything else in this room.
I've said this several times on the podcast, on this show. We all know AI will eventually probably succeed in this fight, which is unfortunate. I mean, it's possible even in like the next 20 years, human beings making art will just kind of slowly disappear.
It's entirely
especially
possible.
With the newer
least,
generations
like, broadly,
coming through, because they're not going to know.
Yeah, at least broadly commercial art will probably be extinct by 20 years. I think maybe we'll still have subsets of like art cultures, and then those will slowly wither away after a longer period of time. But maybe like over an apprenticeship like guild system where art is still practiced in little subsets. But I mean, who even knows? Like, it's hard to predict all these things, except for the grains of sand slowly falling by the wayside. It's not a great time. It's not a great time to be an artist. It's not a great time to be a worker. It's not a great time to be anyone other than a multi-billionaire who's making the AI, it seems.
Yep.
But you already knew that.
You already knew that. Shocked that Amazon and MGM even started making the movie. Because
honestly,
I would have assumed that they would have been working on Alexa, which is Amazon's kind of. They have the Echo Dot or whatever, or the Echo.
Yeah.
The cylinder that's basically just an AI voice, which is more like, I guess, Siri than actual, like, OpenAI kind of AI. But I just imagine they were already just developing that to be the same thing.
Probably.
So,
Who even knows?
yeah, and they could be, and they just haven't done it yet. It's kind of just one of those things. But all we can do is prolong the inevitable, not support these things. We go to watch human-made art. Go to a museum. If you haven't been to a museum ever or in a while, go to a museum.
Art museums. Oh my God, it's such a great experience. I can't recommend it enough. And I actually kind of want to push back against you because this doesn't have to be inevitable. It seems like it may be, and we are already well in the process of it being inevitable. But Gen Z, we are slowly going to become people in power, and we may have the chance to stop and reverse all of this bullshit. You know, this doesn't have to be a doom and gloom section. This doesn't have to be the end of all art, even if we proclaim it as such, and it seems likely that it could be. That's being realistic. You know, we're being realistic and saying this, you know, all of this could wither away. But we can also be idealistic and say we don't have to let it be that way. So we are all individuals with little power, but together we have all the influence we could need. I like how everyone in the comments of these A24 projects have been ruthlessly lambasting A24. Continue that. I don't know if it could happen, but look what happened with Disney and Sora. Everyone was so mad that Disney, probably one of the most unethical film companies, backed out of the deal. You have power. Don't let your voice be quiet. A24, listen here, A24. I will cut you. Not any specific individual because I don't want to incite violence. But the company itself, the immaterial idea of a capitalistic company, I will cut you with this pen. And just like the spiky dildo you shoved up all of our collective assholes, I will shove this one up yours. Unless you remedy the situation.
Just want to say, we at the writer's room don't condone violence. Don't actually attack anybody. Please don't attack anybody. He's being metaphorical. This
is metaphorical. This is satirical.
Yeah.
But A24, watch your back. No, in actuality, in all seriousness, you don't have to just roll over. We can let our voices be heard. We can try to fight this in any way we can, because humans deserve to be making art, and art deserves to be made by humans. And I'm sorry to everyone else out there that likes these companies. You know, it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. You know, I used to be a big fan of Harry Potter, you know, and when all that news broke about J.K. Rowling, that was really disappointing. But I had to swallow all that and move on and do the right thing that I felt was right and not monetarily benefit something that I disagree with on a moral inherent level.
I forgot about that.
It may be hard. It may be hard not to go support A24 or all these other film companies, but the loudest voice you have is your wallet. In this culture, the loudest voice you have is your wallet. So let it scream in the way you want it to. And I'm going to end the segment that way. Cole, I was going to say let's lighten the affair, but I already know the next story we're going to talk about.
I'm the fun guy. I have the fun stories, right?
Yeah, the fun stories. Cole,
yeah.
we've been really sad. What great laugh-filled story, what great excitement do you have for us?
So glad you asked. So tragically, we have lost an artist.
Yeah.
This isn't a joke. And I'm gonna butcher this. I'm gonna butcher this name, so I do apologize. Luis de la Rosa.
That sounds pretty right.
One of the animators on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which I believe that was the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse, died in a train accident, which is still being investigated at 34 years old. Which, I'll be honest, I haven't seen the Spider-Man movies, but I have heard wonderful things, and I've seen clips. I know I need to watch more movies, but I've seen clips from it, and they're beautiful movies.
Fantastic movies.
Excuse the thunderstorm, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm sure you can hear. But Luis de la Rosa was near the tracks, attending the International Animation Film Festival in Annecy, France, and he was near a downtown station, and he had his
Edge.
Yeah, like the badge. Yeah, like the whatever. To get into the festival, he was going to attend. He's going to have probably a great time. Maybe meet some people. I don't know. But he was struck by the train. Still being investigated. But very tragic loss. And to kind of commemorate Luis, I wanted to kind of go through some of the more popular things that he's worked on.
I love that.
So, I already mentioned Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which beautiful animation based on the clips that I've seen.
Based on the whole film, it is incredibly dazzling. It's jaw-droppingly incredible.
Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Really? Wow.
Which, I mean, that looks gorgeous too. The
CGI animation on that film is pretty good.
Yeah. Whether or not the movie had good writing or not, that's not anything to do with Luis.
That was not his job.
Knights of Guinevere. I think, Knights of Guinevere.
Okay. The TV show made by the creator of the Owl House on Disney, I believe.
Yeah.
Very popular right now. Yeah.
I think that's right. It is and then the more, let's see. I know there's multiple of these, but this is the 2019 Carmen Sandiego TV series.
Oh, fun. Yeah, that's cool.
And then a couple of honorable mentions. Let's see. Did an episode, it might be more like a short animated film, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Which I loved those movies, and I think I have seen this short, and what a fun idea. I didn't know they had remade this, but the Animaniacs, which I believe was originally back in the 80s,
the 90s,
90s. Okay, but did they remake it, or did they just add a new season? They added 2 new seasons, so they didn't remake it. They added 2 new seasons in 2021 and 2023.
I need to watch that. That sounds fun.
Yeah. So, Luis, rest in peace. You will be dearly missed.
And to all of his family and friends, we are incredibly sorry for your loss. Yep. I hope everyone out there respects their privacy and the grieving process, and just sending all our best thoughts and wishes that way. And I want to not to delineate or not to demean from the incredible tragedy that has occurred, but I think that we should talk just a little bit about safety measures at some of these film festivals, because I feel like a lot of tragedies like this one could be preventable in a way where all these people are here for a great fun time, for supporting film, supporting their art, supporting their personal brand, and it's such a travesty that a dark cloud, has to hang around this event because of something that maybe we could have avoided, and Mr. De La Rosa could still be with us today, providing incredible, gorgeous art. And I don't know what Annecy Film Festival has said regarding this incident. I know they are planning to do some sort of memorial ceremony at the closing of the festival, but I don't think they've said anything beyond that. And I don't know if the train station or the depot or the train operators or any of those personnel have said anything post-accident, and they may never say anything. Who knows?
The problem is it's still this just happened. I want to say
that's true. We're still
yesterday. I think it happened, so it's still being investigated. So that they just don't know yet.
And we are again recording this on Saturday, June 27th. So by the time this episode airs, or even post-episode, more information may come to light. But I just want to take just a quick moment to say, safety. People are incredibly important, and we should work to protect them. I'm thinking back, not to take away from this horrible tragedy, but I'm thinking back to the avoidable incident on the set of Rust back in I believe 2023, where cinematographer Halyna Hutchins unfortunately lost her life in a situation that we could have avoided by having more safety measures in place, and people regarding those safety measures more cognizantly. Movies are supposed to be fun. Well, not always. Movies are supposed to be enjoyable. Movies are supposed to, bring the best out of people, and it's always just horrible to hear about things like this. So, best thoughts, best wishes overseas to everyone at Annecy and to the family and friends of this beautiful soul. And you've made an incredible impact on not just our lives by creating these things that we enjoy, but on so many countless other individuals. So, God rest your soul, rest in peace.
And if you're able, maybe check out his final project, Ash Raider World. That's what he was presenting at the festival. Maybe go show that some support if you're able to.
If we can throw in
if there's a link, we can throw that in there.
Or trailer or something.
We'll definitely look for a link to see if we can kind of help give that some support, because
definitely.
Yeah. But
well, we have to bring up the mood even a little bit. I know we've talked about doom and gloom, we've talked about a terrible tragedy. Cole, do you have anything else that could bring us some joy, motherfucking joy, in our day today?
Well, the other thing I brought with me was a box office thing. We like to do box office.
Let's talk about box
numbers at the end of these episodes. I liked 2025's Superman, and I think it did better than the movie I'm about to mention. Supergirl was released, let's see, it would have been yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, that's correct.
And I saw some reviews that weren't great, but it has lifted off with $7.8 million in the box office previews. So maybe it'll do okay. It's only been a day, so we have to kind of give it a few days to kind of judge how maybe it'll exponentially kind of go up. Let's see. I had the budget professional right here.
Also, Oh, you got it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I got it. So, yeah, on its first day, so tracking was, what did I say? 7 million? Yep. 7.8 million, based on some previews. It's opened to 18 million on its first day. So that is actually better. The problem is it's going up against another movie, which I believe you have some more information on.
Yeah, it's going up against the biggest box office success so far this year. A little indie film from a little small time company. It's called Toy Story 5, and in its opening weekend, debuted at over $300 million. That is huge. And even still, in this second weekend, against the likes of Supergirl and Jackass, the sixth Jackass film, along with Backrooms and Obsession, which have had incredible longevity over the week to week. Still, Toy Story 5 is topping the box office. Let's see where projections have Toy Story 5 ending up. Toy Story 5 box office projections. It heads to an estimated $72.5 million this weekend, which is well above where Supergirl is supposed to land at around $50 million at the end of the weekend. Who knows how big and far this movie will go, but I know at the top of the episode we said, franchises are kind of dying down slowly. They're gonna be around, but they're slowly losing steam. And original stories and original IPs are making the box office lit aflame. Mm-hmm. Well, pooey to all of that at the same time, because look at what Toy Story 5 is doing. A franchise which, by all accounts, apart from executives sitting at Disney Pixar, by all accounts, should have ended 2 movies ago. They had the perfect ending with Toy Story 3. It did incredibly well with critics, with audiences, and did a great box office. Then they turned around and announced, hey, we're doing Toy Story 4. Everyone was like, why? We don't want that. But they did, because it did well with critics, it did well with audiences, and it made a buttload at the box office. Then they turn around, they say, we're doing Toy Story 5. And everyone said, no, but seriously, why? And we don't want that. But again, good with critics, good with audiences, doing a buttload at the box office. Let's check the Letterboxd score for Toy Story 5.
Toy Story 4, I almost cried, I think.
Oh my god. Dude. I definitely cried at Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
3.8 stars for Toy Story 5. Let's check out Supergirls at the same time to kind of compare against.
Yeah. Supergirl's
3.1. 3.1 on Letterboxd. It's a bit lower.
Yeah. Supergirl's budget, by the way, has been reported to be around $170 million. And it's projected over the course of the weekend that they'll make $40 million. So it's not looking great. They may make it back. But of course, these studios...
Could you remind me that budget number?
$170 million.
$170 million. Okay.
Yep, and they're
Toy
projected
Story
to make
5.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
Toy
projected
Story
to make
5 budget. Dude. You go, please.
Okay.
Sorry.
They're projected to make $40 million over the weekend. Go ahead.
They've got a hill to fly over in order to make some money back. Toy Story 5 budget, $250 million, the most expensive film Pixar has ever made, and one of the most expensive animated films of all time. But they already made $300 million in the first weekend. And by the end of this weekend, they'll probably make $400 million, which, coupled with marketing costs, puts them almost at breaking even in 2 weekends. And it seems like the movie's longevity will continue at a favorable rate. It may be the highest grossing film at the box office this year. It has to do some work against Michael to catch up to Michael. It has to do some work to fend off a big box office story that I'm excited to talk about next month, The Odyssey. It'll be fun to talk about that story. And then some, like, even further down the stretch around December when we have Dune Part 3 coming around. But, I mean, if I were a betting man, I would hedge my bets on Toy Story 5 because you don't... The power of name brand recognition, the power of the Disney Studio Industrial Complex, and the power of animated kids fair is like moth to a flame when it comes to getting money.
Yeah.
So if I were to bet on all four of those movies, which would be the highest grossing at the end of the year, it seems most likely that Toy Story 5 will take that spot unless The Odyssey ends up being as good, if not better, than Oppenheimer and can match its $1 billion mark. And if Dune Part 3 is able to improve upon the other two films, and I think critically get some Oscars under its belt come next year, which I think if it's award worthy and everyone agrees that it should win some Oscars, that might help its box office. Like let's look back at one battle after another when everyone said, "Hey, this movie's gonna make some gold, make some awards." That word of mouth helped move that movie to Paul Thomas Anderson's highest grossing film of his career. Same could be for Dune Part 3, but back to Toy Story 5, I think has the best chance of being the highest grossing film this year based on how well it's doing so far. And those three criteria I mentioned, kids movies being popular, Disney being popular, name brand of Toy Story, the franchise, being as popular as it is. As for Supergirl, this is not a great sophomore film debut for the new DC universe. And we were all up and excited about how Superman did, how good Superman was. We were singing its praises. I think we all kind of knew that Supergirl would be a disappointing follow-up based on just the gargantuan impact that Superman made. And we could all go back. There's an elephant in the room, I think, of why this movie may not be performing as well. And it might have to be because... Do I even have to say it? Do I even need to say it out loud? Some people are idiots. But I might have to. Why is Supergirl not doing as well as Superman? I don't know. Seems kind of odd to me.
Well, that's a complicated debate. I don't know. That may not be 100% true.
It may not be 100% true,
but
it's at least a little bit true.
Might be. There has been a time of... It happened a lot in Marvel as well, where we got these girl boss protagonists that were perfect at everything, and people got tired of it, and so it's turned people against the female protagonists because we're not Hollywood. Hollywood was writing these really terrible female protagonists. Which sucks because there are so many good female protagonists out there. Alien, like, oh my god, dude. That Charlize Theron movie, Atomic
Blonde.
Is Atomic? Atomic Blonde. Yeah. I mean, even like, I thought even like the first Wonder Woman was fine, was good. I mean, that I enjoyed that. So, if that is the reason you're saying, I don't necessarily think it is purely a sexism thing. I think it is more of a the general public has been soured on stuff because Hollywood doesn't know how to make a good character.
Which I still think ties back into the sexism thing because guy writers don't know how to write. On average, these guy writers don't know how to write female characters.
That's fair, actually.
So
that's fair.
Yeah. Look what happens. You said Wonder Woman was a pretty good film. At that first Wonder Woman. Who wrote it? Patty Jenkins.
Yeah.
A woman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and all these Marvel movies that you didn't like with women protagonists. I mean, just saying.
Yeah. Although I feel like Patty also wrote 1984, and that one wasn't as good. I think that's right.
It wasn't as good.
Yeah. So
I think you might be right. Yeah. Well, on average.
On average. Okay. Anyway,
don't look into it too far. Not every character is just going to be written well.
Yeah.
But point stands, there may be an argument to be had there. And I guess we haven't seen the film ourselves, so I can't. I might go
see it. I might go see Toy Story 5 and Supergirl. Honestly, those are movies I do.
Probably going to try to see those.
Yeah.
So we will report back after we experience and see maybe what's not working for Supergirl and what is working for Toy Story 5. Yeah. Based on these box office and based on what the movie is in general. They
may not even be comparable though. So, but yeah,
not comparable, but like, why? How come Supergirl is not doing so well at the box office based on what we saw from the movie, and what is Toy Story doing that's kind of drawing people in the movie? Not to compare them, not comparing apples to oranges, but
gotcha, yeah, okay.
But why an apple is an apple and why an orange is an orange?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, so we're wrapping up here.
Time for our wrap-up segment where we talk about what we are most excited for in the month coming up. And I've Googled this to make sure.
Yes, I think we have the same answer. You want to say it at the same time?
I have two answers though.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say it at the same time. Let's see let's see.
Let's see. The top one that we are most excited about for the month of July. All right, ready? Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3. The Odyssey.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't synced, but we both agree.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan's follow-up to his Oscar hit box office phenomenon, Oppenheimer, is The Odyssey. Very, very storied production cycle. Big hype. First film shot completely on IMAX cameras, only pretty much showing in premium large formats, IMAX, 70 millimeter, 35 millimeter screenings all over the country. It's a good attempt at a follow up to the hype that Barbenheimer created just solely on its own.
Yeah,
and Christopher Nolan has really cemented himself as the event filmmaker of his generation. I guess the last time a film had this much like aura and hype around it maybe was Endgame. Just there is some sort of mysterious air around the Odyssey that is just really exciting. And I mean, I'm also a nerd when it comes to like these old stories. Like I read the Odyssey in high school. I read the Iliad in high school. Only one of those was required, by the way. I did the other one for fun. So I'm excited to see this story told on the big screen in this generation, because there was an older Odyssey film back in like the 50s or 60s, I can't remember, which was okay. But I'm excited to see this iteration on screen. And I think pretty much most everyone else in the world is too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So looking forward to it. I read today, I think, that there was a massive Cyclops figure to kind of help the actors for this movie. So
those Cyclops are pretty much puppets.
Mm-hmm. And then, so my second answer,
please.
Spider-Man Brand New Day is also coming out next month, and I am such a sucker for Spider-Man. So, you know.
Yeah.
So
oh my god, I actually have a lot of things I'm excited about for this month.
Yeah. There's actually a lot more coming out next month.
It's a great month.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, talk a bit more about Spider-Man, dude. What's got you super excited about it?
Tom Holland, Zendaya, Sadie Sink, Jacob Batalon. Sorry.
Yeah, you got it.
The guy that plays Ned, I guess.
Ned, yes.
But I mean, all-star cast. I just love the character of Spider-Man, and I think Tom Holland does a great job. And I think this one's going to be a massive improvement on the last one, which felt more like it was going for nostalgia. And this one, it's set up to be one of the darker stories in Peter Parker's life. So I'm very intrigued by the story that has been pitched to me by the trailer.
Yeah, I'm excited because I was one of the many that was pushing for a street level Spider-Man movie. After, if we were going to have another one, I was wanting it street level, and it seems like they have took that and ran with it. I have to see the movie, but I wasn't initially excited about when they announced the fourth Spider-Man, but the trailers and what the cast and crew have said has won me over. So I am actually excited about that. For me, I got two other movies that are new releases that are coming out that I also want to talk about. Evil Dead Burn. I believe it's the sixth film in the Evil Dead franchise. I'm a big fan of those. And I don't know if I'm in the minority, but I really, really, really enjoyed Evil Dead Rise back in 2024. That movie was fantastic. Had a good time at the theater watching it. Another standalone sequel in this like semi-reboot franchise dating back to 2013's Evil Dead. This one looks really exciting, looks really fun. The trailers are super high octane, just like every Evil Dead film. Cinematography always looks amazing. The acting's always really fun, and the set pieces are always really engaging. So I will be excited to see Evil Dead Burn. Also, coming up just the weekend between The Odyssey and Spider-Man is Her Private Hell, a film by Nicholas Refn Winding. I hope I got that name right. Had a huge buzz coming into the Cannes Film Festival and seemingly has a polarizing reception, which I love when a film has a polarizing reception because I get to weigh in on which one is right. People are saying it's amazing. People are saying it's crap. I have to see this film in theaters to make an opinion for myself. All from what the cinematography from the trailers, it looks like it'll be a fun ride, and I'm excited. Also, this month seems to be jam-packed with exciting film re-releases. Citizen Kane having an 85th anniversary release on July 5th. Great movie if you haven't seen it already. July 11th, My Neighbor Totoro, which is one of my favorite animated films of all time, getting released for Studio Ghibli Fest 2026. Yes, please, sign me up. And also, I mean, The Fifth Element, which is maybe not everyone likes that movie. There are some parts that I enjoy. But 2026 re-release for The Fifth Element. And Take Care of My Cat, a drama film from 2000, has its re-release this year. Good movie. If you have time, go check it out. It's a fun one. So July is a packed month. If you don't have anything that you want to see July, what are you doing? Go to the movie theaters, check out something. Even if it's just The Odyssey, I think everyone and their mom's going to be there. So next month, we will hopefully have some opinions based on the things that we see for the month of July.
Yep.
And we will get back to you on that.
So if you go to watch something on July 10th, be very careful what you choose. Because if you choose one of the ones I'm seeing on here, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I actually want to figure out what you're talking about.
There's one on here that I'm just like, I swear to God, if people go to see that, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
Yeah. You have a choice between what Cole is saying and Evil Dead Burn, and I just told you how fun Evil Dead Burn is going to look and is going to be, so choose wisely. Choose wisely.
Watch The Invite before you go fucking watch Moana, the remake.
The Invite is also coming out July 10th?
That's what I'm seeing on IMDb. I don't...
fun.
But
that movie also looks kind of fun.
Moana was so good.
I do
the
enjoy
original.
Oh my God. I was a fan of the original one. Haven't seen the sequel, and God, I will burn in hell before I see the live-action remake.
We didn't need a live-action remake.
We didn't need it. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into another Martini Shot episode. We will be back with this next month for the month of July. in the interim, if you have any news stories that you're seeing over the month that you want us to cover, please let us know in the comments of this video or any of our other subsequent videos, because we have other things on this channel. So please make sure you're subscribed. We will link all of our sources in the description below, so you can read for yourself.
Yep.
So you can always be proactive. And just like always, enjoy movies. And again, your wallet speak loud, so make your voice heard. Thank you so much. Braydan Kirkland, Cole James, here with Martini Shot. Goodbye!